YouTube, what it do? I'm back. Like I never left. What's up, guys? Thanks for showing some love to my channel so far. Appreciate you. Appreciate each and every one of you taking your time to watch my videos, man. Y'all don't have to, man. But y'all still do. That's love. That's all I care about, man. Love, man. Love. Love is in the air. I wanted to do a reaction video to this teen takeover that's sparking chaos nationwide. I'm not sure if you guys heard of it though, but it has been happening recently. A couple states already. Virginia, I think Mississippi, LA, worldwide. It's getting crazy. It's getting insane. And we need to stop that. Us, the OGs, we need to stop that. The youth is out of their minds. Let's check it out. Let's see what they got to say.
Teen takeovers like that one in Norfolk, Virginia, showing no signs of slowing down across the country. On the Jersey Shore, police arrested 6 people Tuesday night after a massive crowd of teens flooded the streets, sparking fights and jumping on cars, forcing officials to impose emergency curfews. On a Rhode Island beach, 3 people were stabbed in broad daylight Tuesday, forcing beachgoers to flee the area where hundreds of teens had swarmed. And police say that the victims are now recovering from their injuries. From the Midwest to the East Coast, cities and towns are bracing for more street
That's
takeovers
wild,
this
bro.
Memorial Day weekend. The mayor of Seaside Heights, New Jersey, says his shore town says the FBI and SWAT teams are ready if needed to help control crowds. But the town is also taking aim at social media and parents.
Social media has played a part of it, but
And I keep saying social media has a lot to do with it. They all want to be recording everything. I don't know if you guys heard of recently about the 15-year-old in New York, somewhere in the Bronx. The whole high school was outside watching this kid get bullied, and nobody did anything about it besides recording everything and putting it on Instagram and everything. The kid ended up getting shot on broad daylight at 3 in the afternoon when school was over. And everybody was there watching. Nobody did anything about it. Social media has a lot to do with this, and the parents. But let's see what they got to say.
I'll say we had 6 inquiries about Papa. They've been handled. Guess what? We're going to do something to you. We're going to summons you and summons your parent. This has got to stop.
Just today, Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser gave Metropolitan Police Department permission to declare 8 p.m. curfew zones for juveniles after that violent mob caused chaos at a local Chipotle. Tommy, I hear things.
Chipotle. I just remembered that was one of my first jobs. Yo, I was getting paid $7.50 an hour, bro. And I remember that was one of my first jobs. I met a lot of people through there. That was in Fifth Avenue in the city, New York. I met Drake right next door. Drake was he was in a hotel right next door on Fifth Avenue. That was one of the Chipotle's. Damn, now that I seen that scene right now that they just had a brawl in there, I just remember that. I had to say that. $7.50 minimum wage, bro. I was there, man. Y'all don't know the struggle, bro.
Like this, and then I just think back to July 2025, where Mayor Brandon Johnson in Chicago vetoed a curfew passed by the city council. Leftists may be stepping up now, but their policies are responsible.
Yeah, I actually go back further than that. I go to 2020 when a lot of this activity in the streets was excused as justice or some kind of activism. It wasn't, and this is obviously different. It's for a different purpose. I don't know if they're activating anything here except for bad behavior. But unlike a lot of times where you see people trying to do things and then escape the law, these people are unafraid of the law. They're going out and doing this, and they're filming themselves doing it. And in fact, they want to be on camera doing this because they want to post it themselves on social media. So that tells me that the consequences here are little to none. If you take these kids, you lock them up, or better yet, you go after their parents, then maybe you'll start to see this not become so cool. But as long as there are no consequences and you're actually getting attention on social media, this is not going to stop. You wonder where the parents are, but in the absence of parents, I guess the long arm of the law is going to have to do something. I know this is happening around the country, but it's mostly happening in blue cities and blue states. I don't think there's much tolerance for this in a lot of red cities, red states, where you have a little bit more law enforcement.
That's a fact. If you do pay attention, like Republicans and the Democrats, like they have two different mindsets when it comes to like morals. I guess the right way to do things. I'm not gonna go in there. I'm not gonna get in there. I know exactly what you're probably gonna think I'm gonna go to, but y'all probably know what I'm talking about. That's just an example. But I definitely agree with that. Blue states they don't take accountability. Blue states they let them do what they want. They come back out the next day. Republicans are a little way more strict. They are way more strict when it comes to all this shit. So I definitely agree on that. But definitely the parents. You newbies out there, you new parents, man. Y'all parents, you new parents, y'all parents didn't teach y'all how the way it goes, man. Cause man, my parents would have whooped my ass if I would have been on top of cars right now, destroying and and doing chaos and just disrupting the neighbors and just wilding out, bro. My time, they wouldn't play that. My parents definitely raised us right, yo. I'm blessed, yo. Thank you, God, yo. Cause this is sad, bro. These kids need guidance. They need the programs. They need the right role models. They need discipline. That's what we talking about. They need discipline, man. Crazy.
Family court. These guys get out after a matter of months. So the message needs to be systematically changed so that there is a deterrence. But here on this front, I'm concerned for the optics that will just be wielded by the left against anyone that is committed to law and order, of like SWAT teams trying to sort of, facing these teen takeovers. But I can't think of a better idea
I love water.
whatsoever. Somehow in there needs to be a complete deterrence. And I'm thinking, is it massive stink bombs? Is it really loud noises, blarings? What is it that will deter these kids from infecting the streets and infecting the businesses? That Delaware beach was so disturbing. All of these are so disturbing to me. But that one in particular, because you saw how many kids were out on their towels and they were just having a good time like we used to. It was just really enjoying the sun and your friends with good music. And what happens? There's some type of malignant tumor that just infects it, and 3 of them are stabbed. How are the
Look. This is the lady I was talking
Maybe
about.
as a single parent and they can't control what's going on. If they are fundamentally doing what they can, then I'm not going to charge them with a crime. But if they're looking the other way, Lawrence, and they're making believe like, I don't know what my kid is doing, nonsense. You know what your kid is doing. You know where your kid is going. You know your kid is violating curfew.
That's a fact.
There's been 2 or 3 curfew violations. I'm coming for you.
Josh, what do you make of charging parents?
Well, listen, this is not like a new idea. We've seen this happening, right? We saw this with school shootings. We saw this in the Ethan Crumbley case and in the Cole Gray case, where we're saying, listen, parents have a responsibility here that extends to the actions of their children. And if you're turning a blind eye, as the U.S. attorney points out, then we're going to prosecute you for it. And they have in very serious cases. Why is this any different? I mean, if the parents realize, and I like that she's balanced about it. I like that she says that, listen, we're not going after those parents who are completely stretched thin with resources. But if you're just turning a blind eye, why shouldn't you be held responsible for all of this? Law enforcement is morale-wise at an all-time low, and they're stretched thin, and they've got limited resources. And going into this weekend, they're already going to be stretched as far as they can to handle things. And then you throw on top of it these, what would they call them? Street takeovers.
Yeah.
Every resource that's poured into
I
taking
feel
care
you,
of
man.
this hooliganism is some resource that they're taking away from maybe a more serious problem, and expect further violence.
Emily.
Yeah, and the behavior here and the crimes that are being committed, if it were adults doing them, it would have been stopped because the whole world would have been horrified.
For
Somehow
sure.
these guys have been infantilized, and no pun intended. They're not. These are not babies. These aren't not children. These are really big grown people who are acting a fool, and they're putting in danger a lot of other people. And we've seen to the point about the violent commission of crime.
Oh man, back in the days, man, we had the most fun, man. They don't know what they miss. If only they knew what they missing, man. Back in the days, we had it all, bro. We had it all. We had the most fun. Everybody was partying as friends. Nobody was on their phones, looking at their phones. Excuse me. Nobody was looking at their phones. Everybody was just chatting, flirting, having fun, battling, dance battles. Bro, we used to have fun on the blocks. We used to play baseball with each other. Everybody used to come through. We used to throw. I don't know if you guys remember back in the days when Twitter was lit. In our teenage years, Twitter was lit. That was when Twitter was Twitter. That was back when Snapchat was out there, Skolnex, everything. MySpace, Facebook. Bro, we used to host Twitter parties. Everybody used to link up. Everybody used to go where the address was at. Everybody used to go have fun, good vibes. There was that was when the quotes was a number one thing on Twitter. Just whoever had the best quotes got the most followers, got the most reposts. Those were the days. We didn't think about none of this team takeover shit, bro. We didn't have when we had curfew, it was not, some parents did have curfew with their kids. I'm not gonna lie, I broke that rule as a kid, but you know, at the end of the day, I proved to be a good person at the end of the day to my parents. So, but when we had curfew, or some of them have curfew, or some kids had curfew, it was mostly, you know what I'm saying, just a thing. It wasn't always just because of the team takeovers or nah. It's just we knew, our parents kind of knew what was going down back in the days, and now it's like all these teens do whatever they want. The parents let them do whatever they want. Usually are young ones as well. They usually are young ones. But yeah, man. Oh man, yeah. Y'all parents gotta do better. Man, if you have a kid out there wilding out and you can't figure it out, yo, figure it out. Call somebody. Make it stop, yo. Let me know, man, what y'all think about this, man. Write it in the comments, man. Write it in the comments, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Showing some love, passing through. That means a lot to me, man. I just want to see everybody win, man. Love is love. No hate in my heart, man. Promise, man. Yeah, y'all. Y'all sit with that one, man. If y'all got kids, go speak to them, speak life to them, let them know. There's too much out there in this world to be fucking up their life, man. For real, for real. They don't got no guidance. And I can understand why. Like I could low key understand what's going on too. Like these kids, they don't have no hope right now because of everything that's going on. Everything is declining. Society's declining. And the best thing we need is the youth. We need the youth to improve the future. They are the future. We have to improve ourselves, but also improve them. You know what I'm saying? They have to also put in the work. But we need these kids, bro. We need these kids so the next future could function, man. Y'all sit with that one though, man. I'll be back though, man. Love is love, y'all. Peace.